everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as they're... Let's get back into the action. The situation, ball in the red zone. It's second down, and the defense needing to step up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news at Paul Brown Stadium. That's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. Here we go. The final NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Down, 50, plant. Get it.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. First carry for James Conner. A check on the numbers last week for Conner. 23 carries, 86 yards.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
On second down, it's Conner, and he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Harris. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Joe Mixon. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple of touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
This to Jarwin, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Trey Madden, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And when a smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
First down run for Connor, not going to get much, maybe a yard. 2nd down, just a yard on the first, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
11 yards there, first down. 7-7, our score after 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Samuels. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Harris. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. well short, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. Far. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
He gets this one to Johnson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Back to throw. Harris. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, 5... And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing Kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st-and-goal situation. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. The drive will start with Connor. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Looking to throw. Harris. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Here's Harris on first down. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll try and run for it with Conner. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Ready? 30 base.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Evans. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
On first down, far. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Far. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Second and 2. Got a man open. That's Harry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
90 Wolf. They can't hang with us.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It is the final weekend of the regular season, final day of the calendar year as well. A lot of action to update you on, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass. From the former home of the Colts to their current home, we head west to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. 2 touchdowns for Marlon Mack. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. This is Connor. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Harris off the play fake. Able to find Switzer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Harris to throw on 2nd down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage. Back at the 43-yard line.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Switch it. Come on, slide.
From the gun, far. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here you go. Ten Lobo. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Get it.
Throwing on 1st down. Far. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the 1st half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Operating for the gun. Far. He gets this one to Boyd. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
To throw on 3rd down. Far. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Looking to throw. Harris. There he goes, left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got an open man. It's Washington. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Back to throw. Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Off play action. far, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Connor, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first three quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on fourth down with a penalty. Harris now from the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Harris. To throw again. With a catch made by Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Harris operating from the gun. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Now Harris on 3rd and 2. Got his man. It's caught for a touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Mixon. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Farr. He'll let this go for the end zone. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 6th touchdown of the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Touchdown, Bengals. Jake Elliott on 4-point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now the Steelers down on the scoreboard. 2:13 remaining. They have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning to work with, but they also need 2 scores. They've got to go quick. Harris, off play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I know he ain't got it.
Throwing again. Harris. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 21. Looking to throw. Harris. He'll get this one to Switzer. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Harris now from the gun. He'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Bengals, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. But more importantly, they'll get a week to rest as they've earned a first-round bye in this year's playoffs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.